Hi, do you like suffering?
Peppa Pig, the franchise that has forcefully latched itself into the minds of children all across the world. So much so that in the wake of certain world events in the year 2020, kids in the United States had watched so much Peppa Pig that they'd begun speaking in British accents.
It's every parent's worst nightmare. You're sitting your kid down to watch some Peppa Pig, but in reality, you're hypnotizing them into becoming British.
With how much this walking, talking pork product has a hold on the entire world, it makes complete sense that eventually the theme park industry would come knocking on her poorly drawn, pastel-colored door. And so, on the 25th of February 2021, Merlin Entertainment, mainly known as the owners of Alton Towers and the Legoland theme parks, announced Peppa Pig Theme Park, often touted as the world's first Peppa Pig theme park.
Dang it!
The park was slated to have a 2022 opening date, which did indeed happen as the awaited park opened on February 24th of 2022, just under a year from when the park was first announced. Now, before I get into talking about the actual content that is contained in this park, let me make one thing very, very straight. This park is meant for toddlers, very, very small children, ages 6 and under, literal infant babies. I am an adult, over 6 feet tall. I could punt anyone in the target audience for this park like a football.
You telling me I can't make fun of something I'm clearly not the target audience for? I am a theme park fan!
Now, you may be wondering, Drew, you live in Indiana, the worst state named Indiana. How could you possibly have already been able to visit Peppa Pig Park?
I didn't. If I visited that park by myself, I would be put on a list.
Join Peppa Pig and her friends at the world's first Peppa Pig theme park.
Now they're just rubbing it in!
Just steps away from Legoland Florida Resort. Yes, this is part of the Legoland Florida Resort.
Peppa Pig, Peppa Brig, Brick, Peppa Brick, Lego Brick. It all makes sense.
This park joins the pantheon of other legendary second gates in Florida. Epcot Center, Islands of Adventure, Peppa Pig.
Only one of those had Daddy Pig's roller coaster, and I'd like you to guess which one.
Step into the playful world of Peppa Pig for the ultimate day of adventure. Apparently the ultimate day only lasts from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Full day park.
Snort, giggle, and play in a theme park exclusively designed for little piggies. It's time for the sing-along portion of this video. Drew wants you to ask, how much does an annual pass cost? When those words appear on the screen, ask the question. It's fun, easy, and free. Here we go.
I'm glad you asked. Let's check the website. $75!
I think the data speaks for itself. But let's say I want to bring the whole dang family. Grandpa is begging on his knees to go to Daddy Pig's roller coaster. Get me a dang family package. 2-day, 3-park tickets to Peppa Pig theme park, plus less important parks. Free valet parking at your hotel. Coca-Cola Freestyle souvenir cup. Souvenir lanyard. Free game at Florida's Wild Slide mini golf course.
Hey, sorry, I forgot it was
$284.23 per person. But hey, it can't be all that bad. They even have a nifty app available now on your phone.
Yeah, if I don't keep this app on its own page, then the disease might spread.
Opening up the app, we are greeted by Peppa's watchful eyes. The app offers walking directions to any point in the park, which is nice, don't get me wrong, but if you need walking directions for a park this small, can you even be trusted to navigate your own house?
What the f***?
Now, with any new theme park these days, it seems that every single one wants to have their hot popular food item in order to grasp the fame of Universal's butterbeer. So what was it for Peppa Pig Park? Muddy, puddy, mixes. Have you ever wanted to drink mud?
No!
Like, sure, muddy puddles do have a direct connection with the show since the pigs like jumping around in the things. But shouldn't they instead serve an actual food item, like, from the show? Something actually connected to the world of the show, and it's...
Exactly!
The park has a grand total of 6 rides, all of which can be considered the greatest rides of all time. But that's not good enough. I want violence, conflict even. So in order to create discourse in the Peppa Pig Theme Park fan community, I'm gonna do what my therapist warned me against. I'm gonna review all the rides.
What can I say? I just love watching the world burn. For example, it's overrated! There, I said it.
Now, let's start with what is probably the most notable attraction in the park. Daddy Pig's roller coaster, built by, I don't know, Vekoma? R&B?
Actually, it's a Gerschlauer Stock Junior. Get out. Exit. Leave.
Despite all of the jokes I have made throughout this whole thing, it is worth noting that this is actually quite a unique attraction. It is not just a junior coaster, but a multi-launch junior coaster, making it actually quite rare. Of course, this being a coaster meant for, again, literal toddlers, the layout isn't all that complex. 2 straightaways, 1 with a launch, and 2 helixes. The queue for this attraction is also worth making a note of, as you get to go through Peppa Pig's house.
Finally!
Up next on the attraction lineup is Grampy Rabbit's Dinosaur Adventure, an outdoor attraction where you sit atop a dinosaur that rocks back and forth as you navigate the track and see things like cheap plastic dinosaurs and cheap but also cool plastic volcanoes.
Sorry, I just remembered that I'm talking about a park for actual toddlers.
According to most adult visitors of the park, it turns out this is actually a pretty great ride, and looking at what I've seen of the attraction, I think I agree. I love me some rocking back and forth.
These words can and will be used against me in a court of law.
Next we see ourselves at Granddad Dog's Pirate Boat Ride. You and your little ones can enjoy a boat ride with Granddad Dog as you set sail for Pirate Island, to dig for buried treasure and build your own sandcastles on its sandy beaches. You move in a circle and rock back and forth.
Hi, there is some news breaking. Came as soon as I heard. There is a correlation between elderly men and rides that move back and forth. Also, the stock market crashed.
I just love rides that literally only move in circles. In fact, I should open my own park in which literally everything is a circle. I'll go prepare some preliminary concept art.
Dang it.
Next, you've got Peppa Pig's Balloon Ride. On this ride, you get in a balloon, rise up into the air, and spin in circles. Up next is Mr. Bull's High Striker. It's,
They did it! They made a flat ride that doesn't just go in circles! It still sucks, but it doesn't go in circles!
It's a very kid-friendly drop tower ride, and is exactly what you would expect from that description. Now, I'm sure you are wondering why I'm being so harsh towards this park that is meant for literal toddlers and not for people like me.
I am 6'4".
It's fun! Most people in the theme park fan community seem to be saying that it doesn't really matter since the park is just for young kids, but I don't care! This park is perfectly fine, yet it's also very, very fun to make fun of. The main attraction is called Daddy Pig's Roller Coaster. Most of the theming comes from plastic models. The fact that the park's signature food item isn't something like...
Exactly!
In the theme park community, it's always important to have that one thing that everyone can agree on. In this case, it's the fact that Peppa Pig Park is really great, but also really stupid, because it's for toddlers. But will I ever actually go see this park in person, therefore actually making my opinions on the place hold value?
I am an adult.
I think the data speaks for itself.